The legendary Super Guppy is about to flash green. I'm going to tell you what it means for you and what you should be doing right now. Welcome in if you're new. My name is Steve. Hit that subscribe button. Everyone gets into crypto to get rich. Unfortunately, 90% of people will fail. I help you get into the elite club of the 10%. Hit that subscribe button. Let's jump straight into it. Now, the Super Guppy is repeating the exact precise patterns of 2015, and it's really fascinating to watch it unfold. And we kind of have some clues as what is about to happen next for Bitcoin. If you guys love charts as much as I do, we post tons of charts over on Twitter. Crypto Crew U on Twitter. Go ahead and follow us over there. Tons of charts, tons of learning that actually helps you. Take a look at the Super Guppy. If you want to pull up the Super Guppy, we're on the weekly chart. You can go to indicators, type in Super Guppy, and boom, you'll have it. Now, here's where it gets interesting. This is 2015, right? 2015, we had this long extended green pattern you see here, riding into that all-time high back in 2015. Once we switched from green to this white period, we resembled that same structure in present day, right? We switched from green to this white. Now here's where it gets cool. In 2015, we stayed white for about 180 days. You can see it right here, 180 days of white. And that white led us right into our market bottom. What happened back here in 2022, 2023? Well, it was about 180 days of white and 175 to be exact, and it led right into our market cycle bottom. Now, this is when we called the bottom and everybody called us crazy. It was something like 85% of the humans were against us, but now it's undeniable. This was the market cycle bottom. There's no denying it. It's absolutely the market cycle bottom, and this was our double bottom. And there's just overwhelming amount of data to support that. I said at the time, if this ends up to be true, I deserve like a medal. That was probably my most legendary call, even though we got the bottom correct in 2018, even though we called mega crash at 48K, even though 2 years ago we called for a major warning coming in the market. Those calls are pretty cool. Calling the market cycle bottom when the world's top economists in every country were saying that 2023 was going to be our worst year yet, worst since 1929, worse than the dot-com bubble, and they were all completely wrong, and for somehow our channel was right. So that's phenomenal. I digress. Now, market cycle bottom in the white, 180 days. 2022, market cycle bottom in the white, 180 days. Then we turned red. We turned red for about 225 days. During that red period, we had our second bottom. What happened in 2023? Well, we turned red for about 200 plus days. During that red period, we had our second market cycle bottom. Sound familiar? That's why we've been following the fractal patterns of 2015 for months and months and months and months. We've been saying like a broken record, like a robot, 2015 fractal pattern, 2015 fractal pattern repeating, 2015 fractal pattern repeating. Bull run's going to start 2023, bull run 2023, bull run 2023. And then everyone in the comments, Steve's crazy, Steve's crazy, Steve's crazy. No chance, no chance, no chance. And they were saying all of these reasons, but men lie, women lie, the charts don't lie. Here we are in 2023. The stock market has had the best start of a year in 40 years, and Bitcoin has more than doubled. So here we are, right? 200 plus days of red, market cycle second bottom. 200 plus days of red, market cycle second bottom. Here's where it gets interesting. We go from the second bottom and we go on the largest rally from that bear market. We go on the largest rally and we finally break through the red. It was the first time we broke through the red in multiple years. We did so right here. What happened in 2023? We had our second bottom, bullish divergence, barreled our way through, and we broke through the red first time in multiple years. This is not by accident. This is not a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. When you want to understand the charts, you have to study the data. You have to study the facts. You have to look from multiple different angles, multiple different time frames, multiple different moving averages, multiple different market structures. You look for commonalities. Once you do all of the research, you study all the material, some things jump out at you like this. This fractal pattern is incredible. I love the Super Guppy. You probably do too. That's probably why you just subscribed. But here we are today. We turned white. We turned white after we had our major breakthrough of the red. You can see what happened in present day. Huge rally up through the tops of the red. Once we did that, we turned to white. What happened in 2015? huge rally from our market cycle bottom through the red. After we jumped ahead of the red, we turned white. It's the same exact thing. What happened was really cool. You can see structurally, as soon as we rallied all the way up through here and we turned to white, this was our cycle high of coming from a bear market into a bull. This started phase one of the bull run, and we didn't get a higher price for 203 days. You can see when we rallied through the red, we turned our high price in here, and Bitcoin. And again, once we got here, I said the market's probably going to be pretty boring. Why? Look at all of the fractal patterns that we've been covering. And we are 84 days in. 84 days ago, I sat right here in this chair and I told you the next 100-ish days are going to be really boring, and we're probably not going to get a higher price than that 31-ish K. It was a bold call, but that's what the charts were saying. A lot of people disagreed with me in the comments, but that's what the charts were saying. I just prepared everybody for a boring next 100 days. Here we are, 84 days later. We haven't reached a higher price than 31. We're still in the same scenario, following the same exact fractal pattern. Now here's where it gets interesting. We're getting close to flipping green, okay? We're getting really close to this start right here. You can see from our high to our green was about 77 days. And from our high to where we are now is 84 days. We're right there. Within the next couple of weeks, we're going to flip green. And that's when things start to get very exciting, because that tells you we're getting closer and closer to reaching a higher price than this previous one, which for us is about that 31-ish K. And once we flip to green, then it's kind of game on with what's happening in the market structurally. Because what happens is we come up to this price, we start to build this base here in this green, and we start to rally up, creating a higher low, another higher low, another higher low, leading into this resistance zone. And these higher lows really start to propel us forward, okay? We start to build this sort of triangle pattern where it breaks high majority to the upside, and that's where we see this next push in prices here. And we're going to see something very similar in Bitcoin in the coming months. Once we start to get into this green pattern from this to this high, we're talking about 150 days. So from right now, for about 150, 170 days, we're going to be up towards this next cycle high in the midst of this phase one of the bull. And when we talk then, we're going to look back at this chart and we're going to say, okay, we're right on schedule. Bitcoin is right on schedule. I didn't say it's going to happen tomorrow or the next day. We're talking about between 150 and 170 days from now, us seeing some sort of a price action like this, which is the next leg up in price. And then our low starts to build a base on top of what used to be our resistance. So this resistance for us is around this 31K. That's going to be our support. In about 150 to 170 days from now, that will be our support structure, and we'll have our next leg up from that level. However, this year in Bitcoin, we will not see prices higher than 50K according to the facts in the charts. I believe the highest we could get is around that 48K. We should see some pretty major resistance coming from that angle. But again, Bitcoin is right on schedule. I do want to say at the end of the video, I want to give a very funny story about my son in the charts. So if you follow my channel, you're gonna think that's really cool. So stay to the end for that. But I want to continue with this. So this fractal pattern is very, very exciting, because once Bitcoin switched to green in the super guppy, we stayed green for about 700 days. And that's what we are looking for with Bitcoin. We have been green in quite a while, since our market cycle high, since our double top, but we can look forward to Bitcoin remaining green for multiple hundreds of days once we get that switch, which should be coming in the coming weeks. Okay, so I want to get to the story about my son. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. If you have kids, you're going to love what I'm about to say. If you don't have kids, you're still going to love it, because you've heard a lot about my son. You probably know he's 4 years old. And I want you to think about this. If you have kids, no matter how old they are, when they're drawing a picture, right? Picture what they would draw. So typical kids will draw, like, their mom, their dad, maybe their pet, their dog, whatever it is. maybe a tree or the sun. Yesterday, I'm sitting here, I'm studying the charts. My son's sitting across from me. He's doing some drawing. He's really deep in thought, really drawing all the details, and he's got this paper, he's moving it around, he's really thinking, he's really designing it, and he comes over and he says, Dada, look what I drew. And I look at it and I'm like, well, that's definitely not a picture of me. It's definitely not a picture of my wife. It's not his grandma. It's definitely not our dog. And I'm like, Pragi, what is it? He's like, Dada, this is a chart. Look, price starts down here. And he's like, we always buy when the price is low. Price is down here, it starts low, and it starts rising up. Look, it gets all the way up here. And he's like, you know what we do when the price gets up? We sell. Look, we sold up here, and the price comes crap. And he's explaining this to me, and I'm just like the happiest parent ever, right? If you're a parent, it doesn't matter like what your kid does. You think they're like the best thing ever. Like if the first time your kid burps or farts, you're like, oh my God, this is incredible. My kid did something nobody else has done. I don't know. Maybe every 4-year-old is doing this. I still think it's really cool. He drew a chart and he told me where we would buy and he told me where we would sell. He's 4. So I don't know. Maybe this is normal. I think it's pretty cool. I wanted to share it with you because you probably love charts and maybe you also love kids. So I share this with you. Obviously, this company that we're building, this is a family company. I run this with my wife. My son helps out a lot. He's involved in what we're doing. My mom helps out, and we have an incredible team behind us. Our team is phenomenal. We're focused on changing lives. We're not taking dirty money. We've been doing this for 6 years. We haven't taken any dirty money. Look at my description of any of my videos. There's 0 affiliate links I've ever had. There was never, hey, this video is sponsored by blah, blah, blah. Never. I've never taken money. I've built my own company with our own products that I built with my 2 hands. And the only products that we release are products that are actually changing lives, plain and simple. And every human that signs up gets way more value than what they paid for. Talk to any of my students. Talk to them. What we're building is special. So I wanted to share that with you. Obviously, I'm best known for my courses. You can read more about my courses at cryptocrewuniversity.com. Join our email list. We have a free market report that goes out every week, providing value in charts with the most important information to know. Absolutely free. cryptocrewuniversity.com. I'll see you right back here in the next video. Peace and love to the fellow underdogs.
I was losing bad.
I was just investing my money and just throwing it into the abyss. And now with Steve's plan, I'm actually up 32,000 right now.
It was so easy to understand. I learned so much.
It really works if you follow the principles.